Hi, my name is Tim. I'm Technical Support and Installation Engineer at ATRSoft. In today's webinar, we will have a look at Excel reports and how we can really speed up your work. With me today, I have Francois Simon, who will answer your questions. You can use the chat box in the GoToWebinar panel. I will make room after this session for more questions so that you follow the presentation better. We expect the webinar to take somewhere in the range of 20 minutes. The webinar will be recorded and made available online later on. Okay, let's get started. With Export to Excel, your reporting is a lot more uniform. We output to an Excel template for the same output always. And you can easily define what to include in the Excel file. It is way more simple compared with manually creating the bill of material from SolidWorks. Let's have a look in SolidWorks, where I will cover the following. I will do an out-of-the-box export. I will do an out-of-the-box with some small tweaks for added functionality export. And then I will show some of the output that we have done for other customers. And finally, I want to show you the bidirectional Excel file output as well. So let me open up SolidWorks and find my assembly. So first off, I want to do the SolidWorks bill of material, just to let you see that as well. So I'm going to insert a table, a bill of material, and I am aware that there are many ways you can do this in SolidWorks. You can do it from the drawing as well, but this is one way at least. So insert into the notes area, and we get the BOM inserted. So now I can right mouse and select Save As. I can save it as SolidWorks, Excel, and save the Excel file. And this will take a second or two. Yeah. So if I explore into my folder now, there should be a SolidWorks Excel file. And this is what we have here. And it's not really pretty. So what you would do now is most likely you would manually begin to add bold to these ones, and maybe you would change the text font. You would maybe clear or set some background coloring for the different levels in here to really understand where you are, if that's an assembly and that's a sub-assembly. But really there is a lot more simple way of doing this and making the output file a lot more uniform. So let me just use the custom tools export and run, hang on, make sure I select the entire assembly. So I want to run the out-of-the-box export in this case. And really, I don't want to explain a whole lot of what is going on right now. I just want to run the export. So now creating the Excel file, and it's already done. So this is the one we create out of the box from custom tools. And if I compare it to the one from SolidWorks, yeah, I'm not sure which one you prefer. I guess this one. The preview image makes it a lot more clear for everyone to understand what the conveyor main drawing is, or the flat bar part drawing is. So really these thumbnails are really good to have. And if you had to do that manually, you would have to then make the images and then insert them. But we do that on the fly. So really a huge time saver. So I will just close this, and this one. And then I want to export a slightly modified Excel sheet. So here we added a tiny bit of script functionality into the existing Excel report. So now I'm going to export that one. And creating the Excel file, and it's already done. So in this case, we export to Excel like we did before, but this time we even add some functionality. We add a link to a PDF and a DXF for the sheet metal files. So if this was sent off to a subcontractor, the subcontractor could then open up the PDF file and review the drawing. He would have all the dimensions required for bending this one. And we could even supply him with the DXF file where we have the part flattened. And if you follow the DXF Masterclass webinar we did last month, then you would understand that we were also able to put in a note to our DXF output, in this case the material and the thickness and the quantity, and then even the total cutting length required to create this part. So really adding a lot of functionality into our Excel sheet, and already at this point, doing this manually, I wouldn't even dream on taking that task. It would be a full day, and I just did it. So it's a matter of seconds in Custom Tools. But we can do a lot more. These ones require, of course, the PDF or the DXF to be output beforehand, but we can actually run a file conversion during the export. So I'm going to open up this guy, and then from this one I'm going to run one more export, and this time I require an Excel file with a link to the step file, so I can run the export to Excel and during the same process convert the part files into step files. So if I do that, I'm going to run this export, and you will notice in the background that SolidWorks is going to open up all the parts and save them as step files, and when that task has been completed, we are going to create the Excel file. It's being done now, and then we have the Excel file with the link to the step file. So you can see that I am linking to 08 step file and in this one 09. So the subcontractor can open this in his CAM system if he needs to run it in CAM system, and everything is just included in this Excel file with these. If I wanted to, I could even provide for this one the PDF output. So I would then go into options, and this is where we customize what to include in our Excel file. So I could go into my export profiles and then select the Excel export where I convert into step. And by the way, to convert during the Excel export, you simply just select what you want to run during the export. And in this case, I'm going to create step files during this export. But I want to add also a PDF file. So I'm going to add a new profile field. In this case, it's a value, PDF, and then the link to PDF is inserted. If I wanted to add revision as well, I could just go in and select that I wanted a custom tools attribute, and then select the revision. There it is. Hit OK. And then if I run the export again, I'm not going to run it full, but you can see it in here. Then we include the revision, the PDF, and the step link. So everything is ready for the subcontractor. He can see clearly what is going to be handled from here. Okay. So let's close that one as well. And then I'm going to show you what we have done for other customers. So I'm going to open up my Explorer. And these are small projects that we did for other customers earlier on. They saw the Excel export and they wanted to add more functionality into this. So we had some great discussions with these customers, and we added a lot more functionality and really time-saving tools for them. So the first one is just a standard bill of material with some small tweaks. We added the company logo, we added some static text, and then we retrieve the properties from the files that we are going to export. So in this case, we retrieve the customer name, the project number, the date, the assembly and the revision of the assembly. And then we add link to the file and the PDF. But then we also added a spare parts list. So in this case, they defined different spare parts categories. And they added a bunch of other information. The cost, for instance, comes from the ERP system as well as the work number. We divided these suppliers into individual sheets, so it's more easy for anyone in the purchasing to go ahead and buy these components. So for ACPM, CT Engineering, SLDP, ATR Soft, we created individual sheets where we just place whatever we need from that company on their own sheets. So really huge time saver. And again, doing this manually would require a full workday, and this report is done in a minute or so. So really a time saver. We also do ERP integration, like we showed in the other one, but in this one a bit more advanced. So again, almost the same first sheet, the bill of material, with our preview to make it more clear for anyone what is going on. We have a summary, a different kind of summary. We insert thumbnail, JPEGs or PNG embedded in the Excel file. We retrieve price and work number from ERP system. So during the export, when we open the export in SolidWorks, we ask the ERP system, hey, does this file exist? If it does, then please add this information back to our Excel file. We made a nice indented list. We made the spare parts list, and then this customer is also placing this as a customer offer, so they can actually build quotes in this. And we have the price and the accumulated price, and if anyone was in doubt what the guide plate was, for instance, then they could just click on the hyperlink in the first column, which would take us back to our summary, highlight that guide plate, and then they could open up the PNG and see, oh yeah, it's that file. So a lot of functionality really added into Excel, and it's limited time that we need to do these scripts, but the amount of time that you are saving is tremendous. I mean, a solution like this is going to pay off in no time. We also did an order status. And actually what this is doing is we have an assembly in SolidWorks, and that is already created inside our ERP system. But then if someone, a manager, would like to know, hey, what is the status of our project currently, then he could run an export and just have a look at the file list and the status retrieved from the ERP system. So if you were purchasing components from different vendors, you could see that they were ordered and delivered, not ordered yet, and really get a visual input of what is going on and what the status of your project is. And then we did something a bit similar. I'm just going to make it a bit bigger. In this case, again, an engineer would have an assembly created already in the ERP system, and then he can run an export, and then whatever he is working on would be compared to the bill of material found in the ERP system, and he or she could have an understanding of what was going to be changed in the assembly he or she was working on. So we have modified items, items added, and items deleted. And we can modify the color coding as you would like. We could even change the font, even add a column, I guess, that this was modified and this was added. So really, we can do almost anything you require in Excel in conjunction with the ERP system. So the final one that I'm going to show from inside SolidWorks is the bidirectional link. So I'm just going to remove that one because we really don't need that at all. I'm going to run one more export, and this time I'm going to export into a bidirectional file. So again, these columns can be fully customized. You can select from the options and the export profile what to include in the Excel file that you're creating. So I'm just going to run this export. And then I can actually go ahead and close everything now. I don't want to save anything. So here's my Excel file. Imagine that the engineer would create this bidirectional link and then send it off to the ERP department. Then whoever is in charge of ERP system, if you don't have any integration between the two departments, that one could then populate the missing columns with whatever data they require in the ERP system. So for instance, we have column headers with normal text. These are locked down. We cannot do anything. If I try to change that cell, I will get a warning that it's a protected sheet. If the column header has curly brackets, we are allowed to change that one. So I can actually go ahead and say, well, I created this assembly. I do not want to be blamed for anything going bad. So I will actually just type in Francois Simon and then copy him throughout. Let's blame him if anything goes wrong. And I could add an item number, 10,000, and use Excel functionality to populate the remaining columns. I could add a price, like, again, using functionality in Excel. I could even add the links to PDF or DXF so anyone could really understand what is going on. Or for the manager, if he were to have a look at this, we could add a column called approved or rejected, and then he could have a look at everything as well. But when we are satisfied with the data that we added to this Excel file, we can now import this back to SolidWorks files. So I'll just click the OK or the import, and we get a status that everything is okay. And at this point, if this was done by a SolidWorks user, all of these new properties would already exist inside our SolidWorks files. We could actually cancel and just open the file, but they are not in our custom tools database yet. So really we should select what we would like to do. I could select cancel and just open and save the file and everything would be fine. But I would actually like to import this into my database right away. So I will say, no, I do not want to update the drawings, but I just want to import whatever data I added here. And then our import tool kicks in and we'll start to import the assembly file. And this is going to take a few seconds. Actually, what I have found is if there is no real requirement for this, if you are going to open the file anyway, then open the file in SolidWorks and do a save all, because that is a bit more quick than doing this operation. But you can do it and you can actually select yes to update drawings, and then we will open the drawings and make sure that whatever property we added is populated onto the drawing and then saved. So everything is up to date. But that's it. Now everything is imported and we can search for the items in our SQL database. So I will close that one and I can search for 9998. So I will close my Excel file. Open up SolidWorks again. Actually, let me run this from the custom tools viewer instead. A manager could have this installed on his computer. Someone not using SolidWorks at all could have the custom tools viewer installed, and then we could actually search for the assembly in here, and we could find the assembly that I was just working on, and we could actually do an export from the viewer instead. So, sorry, not for the bidirectional, but we could do an out of the box in this case, or we could do a print operation from the viewer as well. So if I wanted to open up this guy, a manager could then use our custom tools viewer to view the properties of the file. I could collapse these and just have a look at the file information, and then whatever I select is going to be the active part. So I can see that this is a chain part drawing, and this one is my flat bar, and this one is my foot or leg brace, and then close the property tab, and then I can run the export or the print operation. So really we have a nice tool for managers in our custom tools viewer as well. But back in SolidWorks, if I open that one up, let me just do this. And this is actually true in SolidWorks as well. I'll go ahead and close that one to show you, because I don't even need to load an assembly in here. So I can do the same. I can select the assembly and then just run the export now. And if everything went fine, we have François Simon as the culprit designer. If anything goes bad, we will blame the French guy. And we have the item and the price added as well. So now we can do an export if required. Just leave it alone. But everything is in my file now. And if I search for 9997, 9997, whoops, then I should find one file. And I do. So everything is also up to date in our database. Okay, so back to PowerPoint. What are the main benefits? Well, it's clearly more simple than creating Excel reports manually. You get an accurate and you get identical output files. We can control the output location and file name, and the preview image will greatly enhance the experience of the one viewing the file. We can add even more functionality to the Excel file, like for instance the link to PDF or DXF files. The Excel file and all the converted documents can be zipped and sent to any customer or colleague, and they can open the files from where they extract the content. For the bidirectional Excel, we make data entry and even validation more easy and fast. You are able to add non-CAD data to files like price, order status, or any other data string you wish to have in your files. And the clear benefit of that is that you can use Excel functionality to populate the cell values. Used cases. Well, there are so many use cases, so I just highlight a few here. We already saw the spare parts list. An Excel file printed with the preview image makes it easy for anyone to look at the produced parts for a project, for instance, and check that they are all done. So imagine that you are a manager and you need to figure out what the inventory is or the status of an assembly under production is currently. Then instead of wandering about in a machine shop with a big stack of drawings, then you can just have the Excel file printed and you have a pretty good visualization of what is going to be looked for. Also, the check ERP for purchasing status at any time in the project. You will retrieve live data straight from the ERP and into your Excel file. And then, of course, you can send an Excel file with preview images, links to PDF files of drawings and the parts converted into STEP to any subcontractor, and it's really easy for those to work on your files. So a lot of use cases, and these were just highlights of a few that I could think about. You can get this by contacting info@customtoolsinfo or just typing in the chat box and we can contact you. But some of these features like the PDF link and the bidirectional Excel files are add-on scripts and they need to be purchased from us. We do a lot of development like this, and your thoughts and ideas is our limitation, you could say. So whatever you have in mind, just contact us and we will try and help you. And many of our scripts are actually done in 2, maybe 3 days. And if you are thinking about creating an Excel file manually and it takes like 2 hours per week, then you should really consider contacting us, because if you are spending 2 hours on an Excel file, there is a good chance that we can produce the same Excel file in 1 minute for you. Of course, after we have developed the solution, but then you are not going to waste any time later on downstream. And actually, if you have anyone in your company who know a bit about programming, you can build these add-ins by yourself. It's just simple scripting. I will now stop the recording and cover any questions you may still have I want to thank you all for attending the webinar, and I hope to see all of you for the next one scheduled at November 12th at the same time as today. We will have a look at the property propagator for Enterprise PDM, so prepare yourself to save time if you are an EPDM account. Thank you and have a nice day.